What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. This is TW Motorsports, and today, woo, it's kind of chilly, but we're going to talk about what's going on with the Audi. So, I already had it at the dealer once, and so yes, it is broken already. So I've had it for 2 weeks now, and we've already got a night spent at the Audi dealer. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to go out to the shop. We're going to talk about what's going on with the shop. But I know that it's going to pop up in the comments like crazy. I told you so, shouldn't have bought this car, this is crazy. I know when I originally posted the video on this thing, several people said, well, one guy said he went through 2 motors and a transmission, and tons of other people said Audi's not dependable, you gotta get rid of it, I can't believe you would buy this thing. I will tell you guys this much. So I've never done this with a GM vehicle ever, and I bought an extended warranty. So this thing was out of factory warranty, so I did buy an extended warranty. Now the deductible's kind of high, and it's only a 12-month, 12,000 mile warranty with a $500 deductible, but I just, to make me feel better about this thing, because I don't know a ton, and a major failure could set me back a ton of money. While I would work on most of the stuff myself, I thought it would be a good idea, and 12 months is probably a little longer than I normally keep a car, but we'll just have to see on this one. I will tell you that the 4 things that have went wrong in the short amount of time that I've owned it did make me think about trading it. And I was dealing with a buddy of mine that works for a dealership, and he had a Trackhawk. And honestly, guys, I probably would have bought a Trackhawk if I would have found one sooner. I know that's not a GM vehicle, but I wanted to try something different. And those were the 2 that were kind of on my radar. So we did talk about trading this off, and I was going to lose some money, and I just didn't want to do that this early, especially if this was an easy fix. So I passed on that, and it actually sold. So no, you're not going to see a Trackhawk here soon, and I think we're going to ride with this for a little while. But let's talk about the things that have went wrong. So the first day, actually I'm going to call it the second day, because we bought it, we drove it, we stayed the night somewhere. The next morning I started up, the service engine lights on, and didn't think much about it. It ran fine, no issues whatsoever driving home. We had another 6 hours, I think, of driving when I first got that light. So I didn't think much about it. I thought it was probably something simple. You know, these dealers, they probably put cheap gas in it. I thought maybe it could be a gas cap thing, something simple like that, but didn't think much about it. So we get back. I was going to scan it later. I did call the dealer and let them know. They said, just take it to the Audi dealer. They'll take care of it. We'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. So I didn't. And we scheduled an appointment with Audi. Now, in the meantime, the second day, my wife's driving it. So actually, we're home. The second day, the key doesn't work. It doesn't want to start. Well, it turns out that was just a low battery. But it's still problem number 2 that I haven't had when I bought other vehicles. You know what I mean? I know it's simple, but it's like, I just bought this thing. I don't really want it to be in the shop. I don't want to be working on it all the time. So it was just a battery, not a big deal. I replaced that. Well, the 4th day, my wife takes it to work. It's kind of hot that day, so she decides she wants to flip the AC on. Guess what? AC doesn't work. So, okay, so we're on the 4th day, and we have 3 problems so far. And so the AC doesn't blow cold. The blower works, everything turns on, it's just not blowing cold. I thought, man, you know, it's probably something simple. If it's not, it could be a compressor. Those are kind of expensive on these cars. So we let the Audi dealer know. They're like, okay, just tell them that when you go to your appointment. It's not a big deal. Well, then my wife had to drive my Suburban one day. And so I drove this. I think this was on day 6. I'm driving home, and I get a crack. A rock flies up and cracks a window. So it's like, and this could happen with any car, but it's like all these things at one time. It's like, am I not supposed to have this car? Like, I don't believe in, like, you know, bad luck or karma or anything really, but it's like, is this trying to tell me, like, you don't need this car? Because now I got to replace the whole windshield, and it's not terribly priced to replace a windshield, but then it has to be calibrated. That's like another $400. So it's like $1,000 windshield replacement, and to me that's just crazy, because like that truck right there is probably like $150 windshield replacement. This one right here, $1,000. It's just absolutely crazy to me. But anyway, let's talk about what went wrong. So we took it to the Audi dealership, and the night before I took it, I will tell you, I brought my HP tuners out here, which HP tuners does have support for these now, which is great. But HP tuners has always given me the ability to scan anything with OBD2. So I brought it out here just to scan, because sometimes you go to dealer and like, oh, this, and this is wrong, which I wasn't paying for it, so it didn't really matter, but I wanted to know for my own sake. And I absolutely hate, it makes me so nervous to take a car to the dealership. As a matter of fact, when I got it there, the guy's listing off all the stuff they're gonna do, and he said, well, we're gonna wash it and vacuum it. I said, don't touch it. Don't wash it, don't vacuum it, because they're gonna use the same nasty rag that they use on the wheels to get all that metallic off, and they're going to rub it all over the paint. I didn't want him to touch it. I said, don't wash it. I'll do it myself. And so he's like, okay, we won't wash it. But anyway, so get it to the Audi dealer. 2 diagnostic fees, $140 to tell me, just to tell me what's wrong with the service engine light, and then another $140 to tell me what's wrong with the AC, because they say they're 2 separate systems and there's 2 separate diagnostic fees. So $280 and we have nothing fixed. But like I said, I'm not paying for it. So the first thing, the service engine soon light, was an oxygen sensor. Something very, very simple. And actually I found that out the night before, and it's pretty common on these things. It was actually a service bulletin, it wasn't a recall, but it was a service bulletin on the rear O2s, and it was bank 1, sensor 2 that was going bad. And it just had, and actually I turned the light went off after a couple days. My wife hit a bump and it came back on. So I think it was just a short and maybe the wires, and that may be why there's a service bulletin on them. But very simple. But can you believe that the sensor was $281 for a sensor? Now I could have bought 3 of the most expensive sensors you can buy for that money, and then $215 to put it in, for a total of $497.40 for the service engine light and the oxygen sensor. That is absolutely crazy. But as I said, the dealer's paying for it. I'm not okay with that, but I'm not paying for it. So then the AC. So the AC was just a half a pound low on refrigerant. That was $24, but then they charged another $140 in labor to put it in. So my grand total at this visit to the Audi dealership was $661 for 2 very simple things that I could have fixed for less than $100 here. Absolutely crazy. But I wasn't going to put my own money in at the dealer saying, hey, we're going to do it. And he didn't dip into the warranty that I bought, the extended warranty, which it's not a big deal if he would have, it's still there. But he did foot the bill, the $661, which is cool because not a lot of dealers will do that. He said, no, you bought a great car. You know, we addressed our frustration when we called, because we're like, we haven't even had this car 2 weeks and it's already given us these small problems. What else is going to go wrong? And so, like I said, I started thinking about dealing it off. But then it was like, no, we're gonna ride it out. We've got the warranty. We're gonna do it. So we're gonna keep this thing for a little while. The other common issues on these cars, guys, from what I've read, they seem to be pretty solid. The main things is there's a timing chain tensioner, which for some odd reason the timing chain tensioners are on the back of the motor. I guess that's the way this motor is designed. And so in order to replace the tensioner, you do have to pull the engine out, or at least the transmission out. I don't want to get in that. I don't mind changing the oil and whatnot, but I'm not going to be, unless it's completely out of warranty and we keep it that long, I don't want to work on it. I don't like to work on daily drivers. I just want to work on fun stuff. So the other thing, the common issue on these cars is the oil screens on the turbos. So there's a screen in between the turbo and the oil separator that goes into the turbo, like on the inlet side for the oil, and they gum up if you don't keep up with maintenance. Now, some people say that they'll gum up whether you do keep up with maintenance, but Audi calls for a 10,000 mile service interval, so a 10,000 mile oil change on this, and I'm going to do it at 3,000 to 5,000 miles. That seems to keep these things on the road longer and not have those turbo issues. Obviously, if you start the turbo for oil, they blow up. That gets expensive really quick, but we're gonna keep up with maintenance so we don't have to deal with that. Anyway, guys, I wanted to tell you guys what was going on with this thing. I know I'm going to get a lot of I told you so's. I'm getting ready to wash it, by the way, since I wouldn't let the dealer do it, but that's why it's here, and my wife's gone on the Suburban. But let's go down and take a look at the shop and see what's going on there. You can probably notice that there's not a lot of cars out here. I've moved a couple things in the shop, so let's go take a look at that. But hit the comments and tell me I told you so. I know you're going to, but we're going to ride it for a while. What are you doing, buddy? My neighbor's dog's over here looking for some food. So, on to the shop. No, I haven't sold anything. Like I said, I know it looks like there's a bunch of stuff gone. You can see the Yukon's still out there. It hasn't sold yet. I had a couple people come look, but nobody has showed up. Actually, I guess I've had a couple people ask about it, but nobody showed up. I did change the locks out here. They were gold. I don't know why you would put gold on a gray building, but anyway, let's take a look at what we got going on in here. As you can see, got the ZR1 moved in here, got the FRC, got the old 52, got the 54. So, Concrete Man, come out here. He's doing his best. You know, this is a guy that was hired to try to fix the issues that we had at the concrete. And guys, I'm sorry, it's really echoey in here, but the concrete is looking good in the sections that didn't have any issues. So you can see he's polished it up, it's looking nice and shiny, but it's just not up to my level of perfection. You could see these areas here, he filled them and polished over them, and while they do look better, you're just always gonna know that there was a filled spot here. Now, he was able to address all the issues that I had as far as holes, but it looks like crap, in my opinion, and it's just not what I'm looking for. So he says he's still got a couple more spots he wants to come out and do, and he wants to polish again and make it look a little better, but it's really frustrating because I've been dealing with this we're going on 3 months now, and the building's been ready to put stuff in for probably 2 months, and I haven't done anything because I've been waiting on this concrete. So at this point, all this stuff runs, so if I have to, I can just pull it out if he does come back, and I don't know that this is going to be the last time that you see something done to the floor. I don't know if I'm going to cover it. I don't know what our plan is next, but I ultimately wanted to get some stuff in here to free up some room for me to work on stuff. I'm not going to move any tools out here yet, but I can at least park the stuff that runs so I can pull it out if I need to do some wiring, because we haven't done any wiring, no lights in here. I did get, I ran an extension cord out to run my garage doors up and down, because when you manually open them, they won't go all the way down. So I wanted to at least be able to do that. Anyway, getting closer, I guess. It's been a long, painful process. You can really see the shine on the floor there, but I think, guys, from the looks of things, I could definitely get 10 cars in here if I wanted to. These front ones might be a little more difficult to maneuver in to get 10 in here, but if I had to, with nothing else in here, I think I could get 10 in really easy. You can see, definitely, I could get 8 in here, and then of course my lift's gonna go in here, so that would be 9, and I think that'll probably be the most I wanna put in here, because I'm planning on putting my tools and stuff here, and maybe some cabinets on this wall and that back wall. I'm not really sure what cabinets I'm gonna go with yet, but I want to keep that area kind of open. Like this area in front of the door, I'm kind of wanting to keep open with storage and stuff like that, and maybe even eventually putting something up top where I can put some stuff that isn't going to be used. But guys, I know that this it's a real bummer. It's not a real great video as far as like, it's no fun because the garage is a little disappointing. The Audi's a little disappointing, but we're going to work through it. We're going to get there eventually, and it's going to be really exciting to have this shop. Just the fact that I can park stuff in there now has been exciting, and it's just taking way longer than I thought, and I'm hoping I don't have to take like legal action on this person, but it's not looking good at this point, I will tell you that much. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, I know you don't like the Audi, but if you like this video, if you like the shop, please smash that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed, guys, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell icon. That notifies you every time we drop a new video, and stay tuned to see what we actually get worked on next.